When I started this channel, I never thought that I would actually be making this video. Sure, I thought of how cool and mind-blowing it would be, but for it to now be a reality is something that I am having a tough time wrapping my head around. The fact that 100,000 of you clicked the subscribe button, that 100,000 of you decided to stick around because you liked my content, the fact that my subscriber count is now higher than the population of the town that I live in. All of it is very hard for me to grasp that this is a real thing. I'm also in shock of how quickly this has all happened. I hit the 100,000 milestone on February 2nd of 2021. Go back 1 year to the day and I was only at 14 subscribers. I have heard of channels taking off before, but never in a million years did I think I would be lucky enough to be one of them. I seriously, from the very bottom of my heart, want to thank each and every one of you. When I hit the 40,000 subscriber mark, I made a Q&A video and a lot of you seemed to enjoy it. So 2 weeks ago, I announced that I would be making another. Same rules apply as the last time, and I will be answering a handful of questions from Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and Discord. So, without any more rambling, let's get to your questions. How many hours do you normally put into a video? They're always really high quality, yet you upload pretty often. Well, first of all, thank you. Overall, I would say around 30 hours. I try to maintain a very strict schedule with my uploads because I work better when I am on a routine. If I know a video is going to take longer to research, I will put it away for the time and come back to it over the following weeks or months. I actually have a video that I have been working on here and there since, I'd say around November of last year, and I am hoping to have that one complete by no later than April, but we'll see. How many videos have you scrapped? 2. I won't say that they are officially in the trash can, but one of them I haven't touched since last April, and the other since mid-September. I don't want to say what they are in case I do decide to make videos about them in the future, but one of them was just too fake for me to take seriously, and the other was just way too complex, and I really didn't even have the energy or interest enough in it to keep digging. What is your favorite genre of music at the moment? Right now, I would say it's lo-fi. I find it to be a really good background music when I am researching and writing, since it is so calming, but it's not enough to make me fall asleep. What is your favorite video game of all time? Red Dead Redemption would be my favorite, but I also really love games like Resident Evil 4, Dead Space 2, Plague Inc., and The Indigo Prophecy would also be up there as well. How active do you intend to be on Patreon? Extremely active. I waited months before launching my Patreon for a reason. I went back and forth with ideas, discussing it with friends on what they thought about the perks, and so on. The patrons are giving me money each month, and I am not going to be taking that lightly. I will also be adding more perks in the near future to give those who do donate even more bang for their buck. Who are your biggest inspirations for the content that you make? I really like telling stories, I always have, and I value a lot of documentary filmmakers that bring light on sensitive topics or try to get a better understanding of them. Claude Lanzmann, Michael Moore, and Werner Herzog are some of my favorites, and they have always inspired me to tell stories and bring light on sensitive topics as well. Did you take any inspiration from Lemino? In ways, I mean, he is my favorite YouTube channel and his video quality is top tier. I would argue to say that his videos are the rock star of this platform and that every video he makes, he seems to raise the bar, and they are overall just incredible each upload. Now, do I take any inspiration from that? Yes and no. I don't want to make it seem like I'm stealing his style or his content, but I do really appreciate how professional he makes each video look, and I do strive to have that same level. What's a piece of advice that changed your life? It's better to be punched in the face than stabbed in the back. Basically, it would be better to have bad news delivered to your face rather than by surprise. Have you ever experienced burnout from making videos? Yes, I have, but not often. When I first started making videos, the part I hated doing the most was recording, because I thought my narration sounded horrible and that overall, my voice wasn't pleasant to listen to. I would go back and forth and record the entire script, and then I would delete the whole thing because I didn't like how it sounded, and then I would record it again and then delete it again, and it was just honestly a very ugly and very unproductive cycle. And because of that, I realized I wasn't enjoying doing this. And if I were to keep it up, then I would ultimately end up hating this completely and just walking away. So I took a break for about 2 months. I learned more about working with the software that I was using. I learned that it was okay not to love your own content, and it gave me somewhat of a confidence boost. Ever since then, I have enjoyed making videos even more, and even the recording process is a lot more natural to me now. And it's getting to a point where I'm much more comfortable speaking into a microphone now, and overall, it's just a much better experience. Do you train or exercise your voice? I do not. The only thing I do that may be considered the minimal amount of exercise would be I actually start humming, and about every 2 seconds I lower it, like an octave, if that's a thing. Think of the movie The Wolf of Wall Street when Matthew McConaughey is beating on his chest, and he's like, is that thing? I probably sound like an idiot doing that, but like that, like I do that, but every 2 seconds it gets deeper. And I keep doing that until it sounds like a deep growling sound, and that's my exercise. How long have you been doing YouTube? Since my first upload. I never had a previous or deleted channel, and I have been watching YouTube since like 2006, but as for making videos, that started in December of 2019. How much time did you think it would take you to reach your first big milestone? My first big milestone was 100 subscribers, and I figured it would take maybe a year since my channel was unknown at the time and I had no pull in the market. I figured I would slowly just build, and I could see this as a hobby that I do from time to time. I had no idea it would take off like it has. Why don't you say "while" in your videos? While I wouldn't go as far as... That's why. Are you happy with the direction that your channel is going? I am. I like the feedback that I have been getting on videos and how positive the community has been. I am glad that I haven't cornered myself into making a very specific type of content, and that people are accepting of me covering different types of stories. I have been able to experiment with things here and there, and I feel comfortable doing that now since I feel it not only benefits the channel, but it is also typically well received by the community. So yes, I am happy with the direction the channel is going. If you could solve any mystery, what would it be? I would truly love to actually know what happened to Elisa Lam. I know that so many other YouTubers have covered it, and by now most everyone has at least heard of it, but I would love if that case could finally be solved so we know how she ended up in that water tank, or what she was doing in the elevator. I also think that, well, for the most important part, that it would be good for her family to finally have closure. Are there any topics that you refuse to touch for whatever reason? Not really. There honestly isn't much out there that bothers me anymore. I'm not sure if that is because of researching stories and listening to a lot of true crime and dark content has desensitized me to it, or what, but I can say that I have come across stories that I have decided would be a bad idea to cover them because of various reasons that I won't mention, due to some of them being rather personal. But usually when it comes to any topic, I will consider it. Advice for a freshman in high school. Do not worry about fitting in. You are going to deal with a lot of drama and judgment from basically everybody, and truthfully, and anyone who has finished high school will back this, those people will become irrelevant almost immediately once you graduate. I tried being someone who I wasn't in high school, and it was all for nothing. Also, don't feel like you need to have a full-blown life plan by the time you graduate. You still have a lot of life learning left to do. I mean, we all do, but just try to enjoy yourself, don't be a bully, and learn as much as you can. Do you have certain goals for 2021 or your channel in general? Yes, I want to make at least 2 series on this channel this year, and I am currently working on one of them. As for the other goals, I do have a few. I would of course love to continue to grow the community even more, maybe start making my own music, expand my knowledge of editing so that I can make better videos in the future, and upgrading my computer would be a few goals of mine for the channel this year. What is your favorite internet mystery? I'd have to say Sad Satan. It's something that I have always been very interested in, and I have gone back and forth about making a video on it, but I don't know if I would be able to do it justice. Let me know, actually, if that would be something that you all would want to see. At what age did you become interested in the true crime and paranormal, and how were you introduced to it? Around the age of 14, but I really fell into it around 19. I remember when I worked a job shortly after high school, I would work nights and I often watched ID, and the amount of amazing, just great true crime shows that they had on there got me hooked, and ever since then I've been interested in them. When you talk in a video, are you using your everyday voice or slightly altered? Slightly altered. When I am recording, I am speaking a little more slowly so that I can enunciate every word, so it comes off as both professional and so people understand me, because naturally I am somewhat of a fast talker, and also because of my southern accent, it can sound somewhat confusing. This is actually also a very good time to point out to a lot of people in the comments that because of my accent, it's why I say especially how I do. I know that it is pronounced especially, but I have an accent, so it naturally comes out how it does. And that will never change, so I'm sorry. What show or movie were you raised on? Well, this is going to age the hell out of me, but The X-Files, Xena Warrior Princess, Do Not Judge Me, and Ren and Stimpy are just a few to name. These next questions were frequently asked by numerous people, so I am grouping them all together. Who are more of your favorite YouTube channels? Unknown Fives, Nick Crowley, Chubby Emu, BuzzFeed Unsolved Network, Angry Joe, Nikki Jakey, Pro Jared, Random Hands, Brutal Moose, and Rob Gavigan. Will you be making merch? Yes, I will. I am not sure of an exact date yet, but I do know that if everything goes right, it will be within the next few months. Do you play Smash Ultimate? If so, who is your main character? Yes, I do. And can I just say that I am very surprised by the amount of times this question was asked? I always play as Fox, followed closely by Bowser. Have you ever met another YouTuber in real life? No, not yet at least. Are you going to VidCon? As of right now, especially with how the world is, I doubt it. Are you going to do a face reveal? No. Are you from Tennessee? No, I am not. Keep guessing. Will you ever stream? I am not going to flat out say no, but it is unlikely. What are some of your favorite TV shows? Mindhunter, Narcos, Stranger Things, True Detective, Game of Thrones, Breaking Bad, and The Mandalorian are a few. Will you make any more social media accounts for the channel? I don't think so. I already have a Twitter, Instagram, and Discord, and now a Patreon, and honestly, I think that is overall just enough social media accounts. If I do, I of course will let everyone know, but I kind of don't see the point in making essentially more of just the same thing. What video of yours do you feel you put the most effort into? I would say part 2 of the COVID conspiracy. I was very overwhelmed by the amount of information there was on Chin alone. And I remember when I was writing the script, I was at around 14 or 15 pages long, and I wasn't even halfway done with his story. Any regrets with past videos? Not too many. Actually, that's a lie. I could easily pick apart every video that I have ever made on things that I don't like, but that is because I am my own worst critic. But overall, in the grand scheme of it, I know they are not horrible, except maybe my first video. Can you please quit using random stock footage? Once again, I have absolutely no idea what you are talking about.